name is Graham Stevens, and I actually attended Violet Street State School. It was actually called the Old Violet Street State School when I first started in 1959, and I left here in 1965 when we went out to Kangaroo Flat Tech, as it was called then. But during my time with Old Violet Street State School, some of the things that I'll say used to happen. One particular evening when Matchbox racing cars were just starting to come out, we decided to have a bit of a race on one of the clay banks up on the hill where the old schoolmaster used to live. And Mr. Green, I believe his name was, actually caught us. And three of us were marched into the headmaster's office, and we got 6 straps across both hands for not going straight home after school and then telling our parents where we were. Then we could have come back to the school and played as much as we'd like. But because we didn't go home straight away, we all copped a little bit of punishment for that. Another thing that we used to do during classes were actually writing with pencils, and when our writing was good enough, we graduated to ink. So it wasn't a biro, it was actually ink and nib. And one of the favourite jobs that you could get was the inkwell monitor, where you would come in first thing in the morning and you would go to the ink cupboard and get the big bottle of ink, and then you'd go round to each of the desks and fill up the ink wells. And that was considered one of the, I'll say, highlights of being an inkwell monitor while you're here at Old Violet Street State School. Another favourite position was we used to have bottled milk delivered to the school every day, and you would be a milk monitor. You would actually get the milk and distribute it around the school, and then after I think it was morning recess, you would actually go back to each of the classrooms and get the empty milk bottles and stack them back up in the crates, and they would be taken away by the milkman, and next day he would bring more crates of fresh milk in bottles with a nice, it wouldn't be aluminium, but a foil cap on them. Sometimes, or originally, it was actually a cardboard cap, which preceded the aluminium seals that they put on them. Trying to think, when I was here, all it was the original building. You come out of the original building to where we're currently seated, and there was a rather large shed, and that's where we used to play British Bulldogs every morning and afternoon recess, especially during the winter when it was wet. That's where I think there's probably about 150, 200 children here at the time. The other things we used to do, every morning we would have assembly upstairs in the quadrangle area, which I'm not certain what that is now, but in that area, if you're in the school band, you would actually learn to play the bugle or the drums, and we would go up there and they would raise the Australian flag and we would all sing the national anthem. And all the school announcements were all done at that assembly. So, as I said, I was here for about 6 years. Started off in prep. My father came to the school and left here in 1932. We lived in Barnard Street next to the old Mount Alvernia Hospital that has now got the St John of God Hospital built beside it. Where that is, there used to be sand heaps, and we used to ride our push bikes all over them as kids. Didn't have iPads and mobile phones or anything. The only way to entertain yourself was ride your bikes and have a bit of fun with the clay and the sand heaps around what is now Southern Cross TV station. We actually saw the studios being built back in the early 60s, mid 60s, when it used to be known as BCV8. And if you're lucky, you actually got on the Cons Coppers TV show. Now, there's a few things for you to have a look on Google and see what you can find. Anyway, have fun at Violet Street State School and hope you have a good career in the future. Bye.